everybody, it is Demo Donna here. Thank you so much for joining me, coming to you live with Pink and Main, and we are going to be working on some sweet, soft love cards tonight. We are going to be taking a softer approach. I know 2 weeks ago I did some very bold with foiling Valentine cards / love cards. I'm grabbing them for you. So very bold colors, very fun, very bright, lots of shininess. And then last week we did purples and blues. So something a little different as well. I'm so good at the mirror part here. And then this week I thought I'd like to take on a little softer touch. I've done a similar card to one of the 2 cards that I'm doing tonight. Actually, the layout is similar to cards I've done in the past. So I'm excited to kind of recreate that look using some fabulous Pink and Main products. If you're watching the replay, thanks for watching. I love hearing from all of you. I did figure out that for some reason, I need to call Michelle and have her help me how to do that, but I don't know how to find the YouTube questions or comments during the live. So if you do have a question or comment, go back and put that on the actual video if you need me to answer something. And again, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I look forward to teaching you some tips and tricks. I'm using some old and some new products, and hopefully you'll learn something new tonight that you can add to your next card creation. All right, I'm going to get rid of my hot pinkness. Oh, hi, Karen. Thanks for joining me. All right, let's get rid of my face and go to the table where the fun happens. All right, so for card number 1, we are going to do a pretty simple layout, and I tend to get into the groove when I find layered dies that I love using. I tend to use them over and over again. All the paper that I'm using tonight is Pink and Main. These browns that I am using are, I wrote everything down so I can actually share with you. So the darker brown, this one here is brownstone, and this lighter one is pebble. So those are the first 2 colors that we are using. And I went ahead and cut this guy out with the scalloped edges. And I'm going to show you that. That is the scallop rectangle dies, great nested dies. And I used the largest one, which is still on my die cut machine. So you're going to go ahead, if you wanted to recreate this look, cut this guy out first. Then what we're going to do is I am going to take, that isn't the right one, there we go. I am using this Many Hearts embossing folder, and it looks just like this. I love how it's got that unique open heart floating randomly in the background as well. So what I'm going to do now is take my embossing folder. Oh my goodness, these do open. There we go. Fingernails and crafting sometimes aren't friends. And it's nice because these are lined up. So I can go ahead and use the hearts. If you have trouble. Oh my goodness, excuse me. I think that might be the first time I sneezed during a live. Oh, that just came out of nowhere. Sorry, everybody. Okay, so I like to line them up. Again, if it's a little easier for you to use this pink side to line them up, just to make sure you have this even. Since there is an actual straight line here, you do want to make sure you're not putting your paper in crooked because you're going to see it. And then putting it in here, you're going to get the raised hearts on this side. So whenever you see the pink, that's going to be the raised side because this bottom part here is pushed up into the pink side. So I'm going to go ahead and place that in there, run it through my machine. Chicka, 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 chicka. That's the sound of my machine. That's my TV magic sound. Open this up. We will show you guys. Oh, look at that. I have, like most of you, three, a couple die cut machines, and one of them is set up just for my embossing folder. So if you have not used embossing folders before, I know they've been around for a long time, but I know some scrapbookers are kind of new to all of the card making tools. Oh, thank you. You like my funfetti birthday nails? I sometimes go a little crazy and pretend that I'm 12. So thanks, Karen. Okay, so when you use embossing folders in your machine, just make sure whatever machine you have, you are following the sandwich directions for how to use an embossing folder. Okay, so again, you're always going to cut first, emboss second. And I mean, look at the difference. Obviously, it's such a fun textured look to add to all of your cards. Go pull out those embossing folders that you've tucked away. Get busy. I mean, show of hands, who's never used embossing folders? I would love to hear from you. And then who forgets about them? I got to admit, I am part of that. There's so many amazing things. Pink and Main has so many amazing products that I sometimes just get so involved in this loop on doing the new stuff, I forget about some of my cool old stuff. So now that I have my really beautiful, fun background here, I am going to glue this on. So I'm just going to take my craft glue. There we go. And I know some of our fabulous creators have been doing Easter cards. I can't quit on the loved ones yet. I still have to, I know January is almost over, but I just love these cards. It's always nice to have these around for friends or husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, the children. It's just cute to have a lot of love cards. You never know when someone just needs a little love, right, guys? Okay, so this is going to be my base. Next, what I am going to do is I used one of our layering tag dies, and this is the thicker one. So this is thick flag banner dies. And I want to say the third one in. Yep, this one right here. And we are going to put that there because we are going to be using our wreath die. And I want to make sure that the detail doesn't get lost, the brown on the brown. So we are going to go to our foam. And we are going to pop that up. I am going to do maybe 3 of them on there. And a little trick when you're cutting your foam, I find if I bend it, it makes it so you don't get any sticky. This isn't like a terrible culprit. Some of the foams that I've gotten before, it literally just, it's so tacky that I spend most of the time cleaning it off my scissors, and that's not the case with the Pink and Main foam. But I did find if I fold it away from me and kind of pull, it doesn't give it a chance to stick to my scissors, which I love. Okay, so I popped that up. Gonna peel these backings off. There we go. Flip that over, and I'm gonna set that. I am gonna actually center this. I originally was gonna add a seine to the bottom, but I decided, did I put that on crooked? It's not too bad, right? No, not too bad. I can live with that. My hearts are kind of lined up right up here. All right. Not too shabby. I know I've done worse. Okay, so there is my base. Okay, next, let me show you this die. I am using this guy here. I know there are 2 wreath dies, I believe I just have this one, wreath base dies. I believe there's 2 different ones. Check them out. I always love a good wreath die on doors, your cars, on your cards that are like welcome doors. You can use these wreaths for anything, any season, love, Easter, Christmas, welcome home, lots of fun things. So again, if you have these, pull them out, throw some hearts on them. Okay, and I am just layering those 2 browns again. And that is the brownstone and the pebble. And I am going to drop that down. And I just put a little glue. I just want to hit the glue in some places. I'm still happy with like the texture. It doesn't have to be super glued down. And then this guy here, and you can even bend your wreath. So I'm putting my kind of my thumbs in the center, my thumbnails, kind of bending that up for a little added texture, which is always nice. You know, we forget that we can move our paper around and use that for extra texture and extra lifts on our card, which really make it pop. Okay, again, I'm going to make sure that's glued down, at least in some spots. We don't want a floppy wreath. All right, I think we're a go. We have 2 layers. Isn't it funny sometimes, mid-card, I'm already like, ooh, that looks cute, just like that. Even if you just stuck something inside of it. Just so simple. I know I really do struggle with simple. This is not going to be simple. Did I say this was simple? No, sweet and soft. Okay, good. Phew. I'm like, oh no, I hope I didn't call this simple. Okay, sweet and soft. That's what we're going for. All right, next, we are going to take all of my little, there we go. We are going to take, which guy next? I grabbed 2 other dies. I went die crazy today. So this is from, I believe, last year's Valentine release, Big Love Dies. I love this set because, first of all, I love the giant letters. So fun. XOXO, I think I finished like 90% of my text messages with XOXO, and I love the little love you. So tonight I will be using the love you, and I cut out all of these fun hearts. They're like misshapen hearts. They're not symmetrical, and they're just a little funky, and I like them. Pink and Main has so many hearts and stars and flowers. They tuck them in so many different dyes. It's a lot of fun. I love having all of the different options. I'm also using the flowers and the leaves and the sprigs from the new Circle Flip card die. And really fun to see some of you guys creating using these new dies. Lots of fun. I enjoyed creating with them. Make sure you guys are posting your creations on the Pink and Main Crafty Courtyard. It is such a great way to share your ideas and what you're doing with the products. Lovely. All right, so again, here's our guy. We've got these great hearts, and I wanted to add a little texture. So I grabbed another die, another embossing folder, and this is the stitched, I have the backing. I said it somewhere. Sometimes I'm way too organized. This, by being disorganized. This is like stitched background. Here it is. I found it for you. I will be able to give you the exact name. Quilted embossing folder. So close. Quilted embossing folder. Really pretty. I love it. I was actually contemplating between this or the bricks. I thought would be 2 cool different effects on my hearts. So I went ahead, dropped a couple hearts in, ran that through my die cut machine. So again, I cut them first, because if you cut them after, it squishes your embossing. So you can see now I have this really cool texture, fun design on my heart. My heart is so fun. Okay, and I am gonna pop my little heart up too. And this guy is gonna go, let's see here. I'm gonna stick that there. And this is the largest on that set that I showed you. And I'm gonna go right about there. So there is my heart. And again, you can just make a simple little card. So cute, but we're not doing that. We can't. You didn't come here to watch me just stick a heart on there now, did you? Okay, so there is our fun little heart. I made some other ones too. I don't think I'm using these ones on this card, but I did all of them and ran them through my embossing folder, the quilted, not to be confused with stitched like I was making up. I am now going to add a little glue, stick a little sprigs in there. The pink paper is, can I remember the name? Oh, it's salmon, I think. I think it is salmon. That light pink paper, salmon, yes. And then that yellow is street light, this guy here. So I'm gonna place that in there. I think I'm gonna throw a blue in there as well. I don't really want it to be coming out of the center. I want it to be off to the side a little bit. So I think I'm gonna go here. There we go. I might even, well, a leaf would be weird. So those two, that'll be good for me. And then we are gonna do some flowers. Now again, these flowers are from the new circle flip card. And I'm gonna layer these guys, if I could pick them up. Always an if. I am taking my finger tools and just kind of squishing them a little bit. You can always squirt your water with your little squirt bottle too, and that helps soften up the fibers in the paper if you want some extra texture. Especially the pink and Maine paper is, I believe, 100 pound. So it's a nice thick cardstock, which is fabulous, but it doesn't bend as easily as the thinner, like the 60 pound. So that is just something to keep in mind. All right, I am gonna do this guy. That guy's gonna go there. And again, I think I'm gonna pop it up. And I want some leaves. And the two pinks are salmon and dress shop. I'm gonna start memorizing these, you guys. And the green is moss. Okay, I am gonna put my leaves right here. 1 and 2. That makes me happy. And just because I covered up some of that, I'm gonna add some glue. I'm gonna just stick glue on all of it. And that is gonna go right here. There we go. Then we are gonna take, so we're kind of doing a little wreath design. I'm gonna stick the center of my flower in there. There we go. All right. Then we are gonna do these two guys. I like layering them. I think I might go a light pink and the dark pink in the back on this one. Add a little glue. Layer that up. This one might just be glued on there. I'm losing the battle. Next week I'll probably have no nails. It's time to say goodbye. Start from scratch. Chop them all off. Okay, I'm gonna go here and then Make sure my leaf sticks. Yeah, we'll do it that way. All right, I'm gonna go flat with this one, and then we are just gonna shove a little extra of our little sprigs around it. There we go. I really love this curl, this curled sprig, lots of fun, but I don't need all of it, so I'm just going to tuck it under my flower there, if it cooperates. Sometimes your paper just wants to do its own thing. There we go, very fun. I am gonna do, you know what, I might just leave that. All right, you guys, I'm not done. Don't worry, the party's not over. It's just beginning. It's only just beginning, everybody. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, I used these bad boys, and this is Loving Sentiments foilable panels. And these are really cool. I hope we have more of these. I know we use these with like the Go Wild collection, but what I love about it is, first of all, you got an option where it could be all foil with the words being white. And then you have an option with the background white where you foil the words. And what you do is you pull out a piece of this paper, and you could either foil the whole thing. So let's say you're doing a bunch of cards and you want the background to be red. You could foil the whole thing. Or you could do what I did if you're gonna want them in different colors and actually cut them all up, foil them. You can add these, so when you put your little sheets in, there's usually space on top, so you can add these. So I am going to, I saw this little With Love guy left over, and I'm gonna just do a very simple With Love. Of course we are gonna pop it up. So I'm just gonna add that guy there. And we are gonna have a little With Love sticking out. My cutting job wasn't great, but I'm okay. I'm gonna survive. But how cute is that? And it's, you know, not 100% crooked. I mean, it is 100% crooked. That's my signature. There we go, that's a little better. Or maybe it's just crooked in another direction now. Okay, so now that we have this, I did just want to add 2 little hearts. So I've got these little guys, and I've got the darker pink, which I'm going to put on top. And then we are going to make our own enamel hearts. And really fun, I'm going to introduce another die. I know. Okay, we're going to just toss those 2 little guys up there. Or not. All my glue snuck into my wreath. This guy needs more glue. Sometimes they're so bossy. Like, come on. Just stick already. Do your job. There we go. Okay, everyone's happy. All right, look at that. Cute, simple, fun, texture, volume, color, but not like super dark. Like, not super dark, but it's not very bold, right? It's still got that sweet, softer vibe with Valentine's. Okay, we are gonna make, so I wanted to add some enamel hearts to this, but maybe Pink and Main has them, but I don't. So if you don't, I'm gonna show you how to make them with some Pink and Main products. I've had this die and I've used it for random things. I have not actually used the tags, but I've used the hearts, I've used the circles, I've used the stars for one of my classes. So I am gonna pull out, so basically this kit, which is really fun, this die set, is a shaker tag dies. And basically it gives you these little dies to make your own shaker bits, which I think is brilliant. So love that idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the heart one, And then I took a couple of my favorite colors that I wanted to use with this. So I've got the pink and the yellow, and I cut those out. Set that aside. Cut those out, and I am going to show you guys simple way to create your own enamel hearts. And I'm going to scooch these little buddies over, and we are going to take, what did I do with that? Here it is. I have, which I think I got this, I think this is a release from last month, the Low Tack Crafty Mat. And I have used in place, I have actually used my gel mat because I didn't have a Low Tack Crafty Mat. Now I do, thanks to Pink and Main, and it's such a great size. This is really great for like card laying. If you're laying a card out, there's a lot of different uses. I'd love to see what the other designers are doing with it. But I'm gonna actually use it for its tacky part. First of all, I've left this like this because I want you guys to see that it does come with a cover. So you peel this off, and you can either throw this away or you could save it and put it back on when you're done. So whatever works for you. I've decided to save this, so I'm setting it right on top of my computer. It is very staticky, so I already see about 5 dog hairs on mine. So that little, this guy here, make sure if you go to put it back on, you're putting it back on clean. Like you could probably take your little cleanup brush first and wipe up anything you might have on that. Okay, so here's the ones that I did earlier. So as you could see, I now have my own enamel hearts, and I've got that beautiful dress shop, that darker pink, that lighter pink, and that yellow. And I'm going to just show you how easy this is to do. And I'm going to show you why the tacky mat comes in handy. Because when I first was creating these, I forgot about the tacky mat. Because again, I'm new to the tacky mat. So what I was doing is I was taking my touch of gloss and my little poker tool and trying to hold these on while I added the touch of gloss. And then of course it's fighting, you know, to try to take this off because now it's got the touch of gloss on it. So a much easier way is to stick it on to your low tack, you know, and I can go and add some of those dark pink. I mean, really any tiny little dies that you want to make your own enamel with. And then look how easy, that's not going anywhere. So I then can just take my touch of gloss, which I used earlier and obviously left the lid off of. I know I talk about this every live, there we go. Okay, so now I could just simply take my touch of gloss, and touch of gloss dries really quick. So this dries, and I did a pretty thick version on all of these. Like I'm squeezing it out and then I'm just kind of rubbing it around. And I didn't even go all the way to the edges. But if you do, it's fine. And these I did 30 minutes before my live started. And they were already dry before the live started. So I'd say you give them 30 minutes. And they're kind of like a milky, and it goes to totally clear. So keep that in mind. I'm putting my lid on. You guys saw it. I did the right thing. Okay, now that I've done, these guys are all dry, and I can go and add my newly created embellishments to my card. And of course, I'm going to incorporate some of the sticky gems or sticky pearls, sticky gems, and the glitter, sticky glitter enamel dots, which are really fun too. So I pulled all these guys out so I can do a little cluster. I am going to do a little heart here, and maybe a little one down here, and maybe I need something right here. You know the drill. I can't go simple. It's not my vibe. Okay, so I think I want this little pink guy right there. I definitely would like a little yellow up here. So I'm going to do a little yellow cluster, and then I'm going to do a soft pink down here as well. Okay, so that's just the beginning of our little gem clusters. And then I'm going to add a couple little rhinestones. So I'm going to do, I am definitely going to be adding a rhinestone to the inside of my flowers. There we go. 2 of those. You could even take your touch of gloss. I think I said glass, but you know what? Sometimes I call things pandas when they're raccoons, or I say gloss, or I say glass when it's gloss. You know, it's kind of a guessing game. Like, what is she talking about? Is she going to fix it, or is she just going to laugh at herself hours from now? You just don't know. You don't know what you're going to get. Very random. Okay, so I'm going to do a little cluster here of the glitter, rhinestone, and my little heart enamel. And I think I'm just going to do 2 little rhinestones down here and call it a day. Now I have truly done a nice busy card, but still soft and sweet. Okay, let's get this in focus for you guys. We've got a lot of texture, a lot of different eye candy. You've got your gems, our fun little enamel hearts. You know what? That's the best thing about us crafty folks. If we don't have it, we'll figure out how to make it, right? So now I've got some cute little enamel hearts, and I'm happy with my card. We are going to set that aside and work on card number 2. Okay, with this one I've got a similar concept going. I've got my card base. I went ahead and cut out that beautiful pink. It's like, again, a soft. It's a pink, orange, and blue. It's funny because you really have to kind of like look in there to figure out what the colors are, but there's a pink, orange, and blue in there. And that is from the Pop Flowers set. So I had a couple different choices. I didn't know if I wanted to do the stripes or the all pink plaid, but I went with this one, which is really pretty. This is a fun set, a lot of colors. So that is going to be our base. We are going to glue this guy on. There we go. Layer that. Okay, and we are going to be using these new dies, and these are the stitched oblong oval dies, everybody, which are really cool. I am just obsessed with all of the layered shaped dies coming out. A lot of fun. Great for creating your card bases. Lots of fun to add those different layers. And again, with this one, we are going to use our, here we go, our cute little mini hearts embossing folder. So you are just going to open that guy up. I say it like it's easy. It is easy. I just sometimes make things look difficult, or I make things look easy and it's difficult. You just never know. All right, so again, we're going to layer that so it's lined up. Close that up. Boop. TV magic. Run it through my die cut machine, making sure it is on the setting for my embossing folder. And then I've got some really fun texture for my background paper here. So see how fun it is to use like pattern papers with your embossing folders too. So obviously on this one here, we didn't use any pattern papers. We just went crazy layering our wreath. And then this guy here, I have that beautiful, soft plaid with these adorable hearts. Nice texture. And then I'm going to use that color combination from my background to dictate the color combination for my card. So with something like this, because it's not a typical color combo, you don't really see a lot of pink, blue, and orange together. So you just want to make sure you're putting them together nicely. And I wouldn't go like too crazy with adding other colors to this, because then it just might start to look a little busy. So with something like this, I then really just stayed true in that color palette. And we are going to take, this guy is going to be my center, but I am going to pop him up, and we are going to play around with my third wreath here. And I want to try something. You know what? I think I was going to do a little layering, but I might change my mind. We're going to just use the white one. It's fun to change your mind in the middle of things. I could regret it. You just never know. Okay, I am going to go here and here. I'm going to leave this all open around here because we are going to do some layering. And I'm not going to take this off because we are going to be working with this piece. And I wanted to kind of add, this isn't something I really tested, so we'll see. I'm going to just cut this up into little pieces. And we are just going to go around, and I wanted to kind of soften the transition between this layer and this layer by adding some of our wreath. You could also do this with sprigs, especially because this is kind of a different shape. And I hope I have enough to go around. Wouldn't that be funny? I guess I can always cut it out. You guys seem very patient during the lives over here, so it's us that stress ourselves out. Like, oh, we got to do this. Okay, so I do want to go, maybe I don't want to go all around. We'll see. We'll see how this unfolds. Oh my. Okay. Why don't we just do this and figure it out that way? I definitely think I needed more than one wreath. There we go. I was thinking of layering that orange piece that I had too, but I changed my mind and decided to just go with the blue. Are we gonna make it? We might make it. If not, we'll just cover our little area up with a heart. I think we're gonna make it. The craft gods were on my side tonight. Look at that. We did it. I mean, it's kind of funky, but once we stick our hearts on it, it'll be great. Right? Wink, wink. Exactly. It'll be fabulous. We'll love it in the end because it'll have a bunch of hearts on it. Okay, we're going to drop that down. I'll show you close up. Kind of looks funky at this moment, but we're going to make it work. It's what I do, you guys. It's what I do. Okay. Next we're going to totally drop in our plaid heart. See, and this is where it's going to break it up a little bit. And first we are going to take these guys, and instead of just going with straight up pink, I cut the love you out in the pink. I am now going to take my love you, and we are going to heat emboss these. And I am going to be using pink tutu. I've used a lot of it. I really love pink tutu embossing powder. So this is an embossing powder with a transparent glitter in it. Still a part of our sweet and soft theme for sure. Take your Versamark, and I'm going to ink these up. I'm going to squish them together so they both fit on. There we go. They're nice and inked up. Take my love off. Take my U off. And now we are going to get our super fancy coffee filter. You want to make sure you do this step on a coffee filter, not on this, because that is filled with the ink. So if you poured your embossing powder on this, all of that ink is going to be covered with embossing powder, and you're going to waste your pink tutu, and you don't want to do that. So I'm going to throw that away. I'm going to sprinkle my pink tutu on my U and my love. There we go. Then we are going to do one at a time. I am going to take my little guy here, and then we are going to heat him up. So I know I have loose powder. Don't freak out. I am aiming this away. And it's so cute and soft. And I want to make sure I get this little section where my tweezer was too. I always kind of go back and do a little once over. So I'm doing that side. And then I notice a few dark spots. There we go. So you could see that cute, get you guys into focus. There we go. So now I've got this like pretty soft pink with some glitter in it. Just kind of an extra look. So you could see the before and after. This was the color of the love before, this pink heart, and then after. So you could see the difference. It popped the color a little bit more. It's a little darker, this embossing powder. And then it has that beautiful shimmer from the glitter. So 2 little fun factors. Take that guy, tap off the excess. And let's heat our U up. And the nice thing too, I always tell people, if you use embossing powders with the glitter in it, you're permanently cooking your glitter into the embossing powder. So you don't have to worry about loose glitter on your project. Clearly not something I worry about. My entire life is filled with loose glitter. But I used to demo all the time and would tell people, this is the perfect way to add some sparkle to your card if you're a glitter phobe. All right, and that was pink tutu. And now we are going to clean that guy up. I am going to add a couple hearts here and there. I think we're gonna layer, I think I wanted the big one up here. So let's first stick our love you on there. And I'm just gonna grab a couple little glue dots. Not a surprise, I left my lid off and it's trying to dry on me. So I'm just gonna do a couple little dots and we are gonna go love. I think I'm gonna do a little bit at an angle. Love, and then you. I like that. Kind of fun, a little sassy. You know, those angles just make it a little sassier, even though it's sweet and soft. Sweet, soft, and sassy. Okay. I think I'm gonna go right there. Love you. And I don't mind that that's a little popped up here and there. Again, I like to add a little texture, little volume. So we've got this heart, a nice big one. And then we are gonna do some smaller ones down here. So I'm gonna go right there. And yeah, I like that side better. I think we're going to do this little one. There we go. All right, so I got a little, I might even do a third one. I might even add one more heart down there. Why not? I might even add the other one on the top. Okay, there we go. Do we have room up here? Should we? No. All right, there's my love you. And then of course we are going to add some of our enamel hearts. I'm gonna do the light pinks in here for sure. All right, I'm gonna do this guy here. And I think I'm gonna go one more. Do another small one right here. There we go. And now we're gonna add, and you can see how easily these guys come off. So it's definitely low tack. You're not gonna be picking at this to try to get it off. It's not super sticky. Okay, and I think I'm just gonna use, ooh, we gotta find the right color. Maybe we'll use orange. I like that. That ties that orange in because we've got the pink and the blue. There we go. And then we're gonna do just this little guy here. All right, there we are. Our two sweet and soft love cards, everybody. Here they are, something a little different than your bold, bright Valentine colors, the bright reds and bright pinks and purples. So we did something a little softer and sweeter. Obviously, they can also be anniversary cards. So I love to hear from you guys. Let me know where you're watching from or what you're up to, what you're working on. If you've used these colors before, if you've been working with the embossing folders. And again, I always love to, know if you've learned any new techniques from my live. So thank you guys so much for joining me. If you watch the replay, feel free to comment. There's no better time to hear from you guys than while you're inspired during a live. Thank you guys so much. Have a lovely evening, and I will see you guys again next week. Bye-bye.